The battlefield reeked of ozone and scorched metal, the acrid scent of war clinging to the red sands of Viral 5. The sky, once a bright lavender, now churned with smoke and ash. I stumbled over a shattered drone carcass, plasma rifle raised, eyes darting. I wasn't supposed to be here. This was a Zarnathi war zone, six-legged insectoid brutes who tore through armor like paper. My recon unit had been reassigned to extraction, but an emergency beacon pinged on my HUD just before evac. A distress call, faint and glitching. And stupidly, heroically I stayed behind. I followed the signal into the wreckage of what had once been a Zarnathi outpost, its obsidian walls now splintered and half buried under debris. The beacon was close inside. A low, pained groan echoed from beneath a crumbled ceiling support. I pushed aside chunks of alien metal until I saw her. Not human. She was tall, easily over 6 feet, encased in ornate battle armor cracked down the chest plate. Bioluminescent veins pulsed faintly along her collar and forearms. Her helmet had retracted partially, revealing angular features, dusky lavender skin smeared with blood, and weary golden eyes. "Help me," she rasped, voice heavy with exhaustion and pain. I holstered my rifle. "You're Tarsari, right?" "Yes." She nodded weakly. The Tarsari were known allies, warrior nobles from a distant system, honor-bound and famously proud. It explained the armor. I moved to her side. "Hold still. That armor's crushed around your torso. I'll need to break it open." She winced. "It's keyed to my biosignature. But I've locked it. Emergency lockdown. Then I'll do it the hard way." I accessed the emergency release ports and began working, prying open the chest plate as gently as I could with my toolkit. She watched me with wary curiosity. "You treat my armor like it's made of glass," she murmured, tone oddly soft. "You're bleeding underneath. I'm not here to break more pieces of you." I finally cracked open the front panel. The armor hissed and split, revealing a complex mesh of inner fibers and damaged tissue beneath. Her breath hitched. She looked down at my hands, so careful, so steady. "No one ever undressed me gently," she said, almost like a confession. Paused, not sure what to say. Her words carried weight. Wounds beneath the wounds. "I didn't catch your name," I said finally, easing the last piece of armor from her left arm. "Kira Thane," she said. "Daughter of House Velsun." "Sergeant Caleb Marr," I replied. "Son of a mining foreman. Sorry I didn't bring royal treatment." She laughed weakly, which turned into a grimace of pain. I tore a piece from my emergency kit, applied sealant to her wounds, and wrapped her side. Her skin was warm, pulsing softly with bio-light under my fingers. "How did you end up alone out here?" "Yes. Honor duel," she muttered bitterly. "My commander challenged me, and lost. Then the Zarnathi ambushed the outpost. My unit abandoned me. Said I was too compromised to lead." Pause. "So they left you to die." "They left me because I was better than them," she said, teeth clenched. "And they couldn't stand it." The venom in her voice was sharp, but the hurt was deeper. "Come on," I said, pulling her arm over my shoulder. "I'm getting you out of here." Middle, a journey through ruin. We navigated the crumbled ruins, her leaning heavily on me, every step a hiss of pain. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting violet shadows across the burning fields. "You carry me," she said, "like I'm made of something precious." "You're someone," I replied. "That's reason enough." She blinked at that, then looked away. We reached a broken ridge where my dropship beacon blinked faintly across the wasteland. A kilometer of open ground, no cover, and Zarnathi patrols likely roaming. "Check my sidearm." No spare ammo. The dropship wouldn't wait forever. Set me down, she said suddenly. Turn. What? I'll draw fire. You run. Not happening. You'll die for a stranger, she snapped. You don't even know if I'll live. I stared at her. I'm not letting you get left behind again. She looked stunned for a moment, then whispered, You humans. You feel too much. Smirk. So I've heard. We waited until the wind carried a lull, then moved, limping, running, half dragging. I fired 2 shots at a distant drone as it zipped toward us, but it was Kira who extended her arm and, through sheer force of will, summoned a blast of crackling energy that turned the machine to molten slag. We collapsed behind a crumbled ridge. You still had juice in you, panted. Enough for one trick, she groaned. The dropship's light blinked green. 10 more steps. We crossed the last distance crawling. The hatch hissed open. We were safe. And, healing between stars. 2 weeks passed in the orbiting medbay above Viral 5. Kira healed faster than expected. Her advanced physiology kicking into overdrive once she was stabilized. I visited her every day. She said she allowed it only because I earned a sliver of her regard. That was her noble way of saying she tolerated me. But something else formed between us, slowly, undeniably. One afternoon, I arrived to find her standing at the observation window, out of her armor for the first time. She wore a loose navy uniform and still leaned slightly on her cane. Her eyes softened when she saw me. Your war's over. Yes. For now, she said. And yours. I go where I'm needed. But I'm not in a rush. We stood there in silence for a while. The stars spun outside, cold and vast. She broke it. When you took off my armor, she said. I thought you were soft. Foolish. But you weren't. You thought wrong. She smiled faintly. You were brave. And you saw me. Not just the armor. Not the noble title. Me. I swallowed. You told me no one undressed you gently, I said. Maybe it's time someone did. In more ways than just armor. She turned toward me. You ask permission, she said. Most would not. Then I'm not like most. She stepped closer, reached out and took my hand. I know, she whispered. Epilogue. A future beyond armor. Months later, the diplomatic council between Tarsari and Earth hailed a breakthrough. A shared initiative to rebuild Viral 5 as a symbol of unity. They needed ambassadors. Soldiers who had bled for both sides. Kira and I stood together on the podium during the announcement. She wore a new suit of ceremonial armor, gilded and flawless, but she kept it unlocked, a silent message to me. That night, as we returned to our shared quarters aboard the orbital embassy, she sat by the bedside and unfastened the clasps herself. You can help, she said, her voice low. My fingers traced the edges of her suit, carefully sliding the armor off piece by piece. She watched me the whole time, her golden eyes never leaving mine. When the last piece clattered to the floor, she cupped my cheek. No one ever undressed me gently, she whispered again, voice trembling. Until you leaned in. You deserved gentleness all along. Her lips met mine like a vow. And for the first time, her armor stayed on the floor.